Nearly 1,700 dogs and cats were euthanized at Greater Cincinnati animal shelters last year. More than 60% of those deaths happened at just one facility, Butler County. The WCPO 9 team's been digging into how taxpayer-funded shelters operate after repeated reports of overcrowding, mismanagement, and questionable care. I-Team reporter Dan Monk found the numbers tell a troubling story.
It's an $8 million home away from home, with all the creature comforts. But that doesn't make it any less scary for a stray bulldog named Beverly. How old is Beverly, do you know?
It's a guess. She came in as a stray. We do believe she's around 2 or 3 years old. Come on.
Colleen Bray is director of the Boone County Animal Shelter.
A concerned individual out in the community was approached by somebody that had found her. It was a hot day, so she was starting to overheat.
Was she abused or neglected? Or
we have no reason to believe that was a situation. And what happens a lot of times is we only have bits and pieces of an animal's story.
That's why Boone County spent a little extra on design features that minimize stress in a state-of-the-art shelter that opened last year.
The dogs can't see the cats when they're in their environment. They can't smell them. They can't hear them, and it's the same for the cats.
To minimize infections, dogs and cats have their own air handling systems, separate from medical rooms.
We're fortunate to have cat runs here, so the cats have a lot of floor space, a lot of vertical space, and they have natural light in all of their kennels, and we rarely ever have to treat a cat for upper respiratory disease.
And that's how it's supposed to work at animal shelters, a safe temporary space where pets can find their next home. Do you think she's adoptable?
Oh, she's highly adoptable. She is a very sweet dog.
But it doesn't always work that way at other shelters.
The Coleraine Avenue shelter will remain under medical quarantine for at least 4 more weeks. Dashley and Jacobson say those now running the shelter have no experience and that their lack of leadership has created inhumane living conditions.
She confirmed the shelter euthanized kittens after experiencing an outbreak of panleukopenia.
Stories like these prompted the WCPO 9 I-Team to investigate the state of local animal shelters using budget data from county governments and nonprofit shelters. We also looked at shelter intake data that shows how likely animals are to survive a shelter visit.
This is nobody's fault but everybody's problem.
Chad Teets was a volunteer at Butler County's animal shelter until March, when he got frustrated by its lack of capacity for dogs.
You can't just put these dogs in kennels and leave them there. Right? That's not humane treatment, and it's not fair to them.
I-Team data shows Butler County had the lowest per capita spending on animal shelters last year. It also euthanized more animals than 7 other shelters combined in 2023.
The system's challenged, the system's underfunded.
Animal Friends declined to be interviewed, but said it will be talking to Butler County about services, needs, and outcomes after a new executive director arrives in August.
The right leadership with enough resources can accomplish anything, but if either of those two is lacking, then it becomes a real struggle.
Brent Tollner is a Kansas City-based executive with Best Friends Animal Society. He says shelters are at full capacity because adoptions are down and local governments have embraced a no-kill approach that extends the length of time animals stay in shelters.
The way we spend our tax dollars is a reflection on how our community and our society values what we spend the money on. And I think by and large, communities have said pets shouldn't be seen as disposable.
And that sounds about right to Beverly. In Boone County, Dan Monk, WCPO 9 I-Team.
And of course, we know not everyone can adopt, but anyone can advocate. And here's some ways you could help. You can volunteer at a local shelter or with a rescue group, support foster care programs, or attend county meetings.